Welcome back, my friends, to Marvel Snap. Huge news if you guys haven't caught it yet. We have an official release date for the game going public. It is at the end of October, the end of next month, right around the corner here. We only have a few more seasons of the beta. But today, for this deck list, I may have to apologize because I think I have made DeathWave even more powerful without needing to add more Pool 3 cards. This deck list is inspired by an opponent that I had actually in one of my previous videos, and because of how powerful this wave-death interaction is, we are mashing in self-destruction archetypes, integrating the Destroyer with Death. So the Destroyer is the second largest card in the game, and Death, I believe, is the third largest, which is tied with Magneto here. Being able to play these two together in the same game makes it incredibly challenging for the opponent to be able to keep up with us. To make it easier to be able to play both of these within the same game, we are running Magik, and then to be able to facilitate Destroyer, we're bringing in Armor and Cosmo. Also, the great things about incorporating these cards is that Cosmo is just a really good control piece. He can help mitigate something like Deathlock if you wanted to be able to play him to a location without destroying the cards that you have built up over there. Armor is good counter tech to an opponent who is running a self-destruction archetype, and this way we're also looking to have a couple more bodies on the field rather than Deathwave, which is just wiping the board over and over again, so we'll be able to get more mileage out of buffs spread by Nova. The rest of this is the very heart, the core of the self-destruction archetype: Bucky, Barnes, Squirrel Girl, Carnage, Deathlock, and have I missed anybody? Yondu. There's a good argument for Yondu being swapped out with Wolverine here. You could also maybe try to bring in Sabretooth, I don't know, and obviously we're bringing Wave to be able to either cheat out Destroyer or Death early in the game to make it easier to get both of them together. If we could play Destroyer on 4, pop a Bucky, Yondu, Nova, and then be able to have a very cheap Death off of the back of that kind of play, I'd be very happy, even if that results in Wave herself being destroyed. We are going to dive into battle here, see how the deck fares. You guys know the drill. The deck list is up above. You can leave comments down below if you want to talk about specific card substitutions or anything else about the deck, how you think it could possibly be improved. I read all of the comments, and I love chatting down there with you guys. Up against Theodore, it's probably a bot, right? Well, that'll get us warmed up today. Squirrel Girl, Carnage, Wave. Quite happy with this opening hand, actually, and Nova makes it even better. We do play Squirrel Girl to the mini lab. Popping an early Nova with the Carnage for some burst at the mini lab would be fun. Alternatively, no, it locks down on turn 3. I thought I could play there on turn 3 at first. Washington, D.C. gets a little extra mileage on the Squirrel. I think we play just Nova out here. We've got both Carnage and Deathlock. With this deck, we really only need one lane to get destroyed, and then that feeds enough to be able to have an efficient death play, and also it gets the value out of our Nova, Bucky pieces like this. So I'm honestly going to play Cosmo. Do I play Cosmo up here? I also want to destroy these as soon as I can to be able to get tempo to winning Nidavellir. We'll see what we're able to pull. Can chew them up with Carnage next turn. The more cards we're able to play, the greater a benefit we get from the Nova buff. So that's a little bit of what I'm playing around here. Opponent playing Nakia. Apparently the devs haven't told the bots to not play Nakia ever again. Let's get the Deathlock down. It'll be what? Deathlock, Wave. Carnage can play to DC. Hang on. It's less energy efficient, but it is a little better. Nope. Wait. We got it right. Because next turn on 5, I have to play these two together. Yes. We plotted it out. It would have been more power efficient to play Nova to Nidavellir, but it's more energy efficient to play Deathlock now and combo with Wave later to even more benefits. So that's what we're looking at. As I incoherently babble about what I'm doing back and forth, I have to explain myself afterwards. They get their Patriot down. That is only buffing Sinister Clone. This is the biggest Sinister Clone. And obviously not. This is some big Patriot combos. But it's looking good. We get Wave down here at Nidavellir. We play the Carnage, and we have effectively the dream scenario of the deck. We've already snapped We'll be able to play Destroyer to Washington, D.C. He won't damage anything because of Cosmo. Death will be not free, but cheap enough to combo together here on turn 6. And we're going to lock this up immediately. Ooh. The Tiger Spirit at 12 strength actually makes it a game. But we're going to be getting... Yeah, we still top them. Top them happily. And... we're winning at Mini Lab, which is what makes it even better because the Squirrel Girl picked up the buff from Nova, so they had to play over there to be able to counter. Blue Marvel is not going to get the job done. Maybe someday they're going to buff up Blue Marvel. Victory. He's waiting at the end of your recruit season as though he's some kind of chase card. And then he's just terrible. We're into another, and if you guys are enjoying the deck list videos, then leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel because I keep on putting these out quite consistently. I can't wait to carry the coverage through to full release and then be able to welcome in the flood of new players that we're going to try and make the game as big and great for everyone as we possibly can. Deathlock, Cosmo, Yondu, amazing. We'll play Yondu here. That's going to do a tick down on the cost of death. Up against another bot, hey? Ooh, we pick off their Chavez. Death down to 8. And, ooh, they give us another destruction fodder. I'm just oohing and ahhing over here. I'll play armor on right, I suppose. This is a beautiful lane for Deathlock to clean up. Net 0 power, he adds 5. Death goes down to 6 cost. And at that point, she will be free if we play Wave. But she's also just playable naturally on turn 6, which 12 point for 6 cost is not bad. Electra getting the kill on our valuable card anyway. That's a little bit of a risky play. Ballsy play by the bot. They could have just hit the ninja and helped us. I have Nova. I think I play Cosmo at Westview and then I set up Nova Deathlock for turn 4. That leaves Wave open for turn 5. Or Magik, and then Death after that, and we roll on from there. It gives us very good openings, and also we can adapt still based on what we draw. Danger Room. Okay. We have the Squirrel Girl. I would love to have the extra tokens to be able to be soaking up the Nova buff, but as I said, we need to be prepared for what is to come, and making sure that we activate our finishers rather than getting, you know, 2 extra buff points out of the Nova. You can sweat those little details and then realize you weren't able to play a 12-point card like that, and that's a game-losing kind of tunnel vision, as it were. Get Death down to 5 cost, so we could go straight into Death if we don't draw anything interesting, which we didn't. We got Carnage. Much better for us to go ahead and play the Death. Danger Room, you could die. We'll go to Lechigilia. If Death got popped by Danger Room, that would be... I might just quit recording for the day. Thankfully, we put ourselves in a position where we don't need that win. You don't have any cards in hand because of how you've meted out your self-destruction, or self-discard. Okoye buffs their deck. We're up by 4, and, well, there is... Oh, we have to risk it, right? We have to try and play the Destroyer on Danger Room. It feels so weird. If he dies, 25% chance, they tell me.
Oh, snap.
Oh, but we forced the retreat.
Victory.
The bots now do retreat much more often than they used to. The devs were getting too many complaints based on people not being able to fulfill the mission criteria of force your opponent to retreat. Wave Magik Destroyer. I actually really like this opening lineup, as long as we draw something with a little bit of early tempo to play out. There you got the Sunspot. Where would we like to set up our armor? Honestly, at Hala could be a solid position. We'll have that be a block for us. We can go right into Wave Destroyer, which is actually really good. Wave Destroyer, Destroyer to Sewer System. I like that. Oh, yes. Yes. It's all coming together. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? We have Nova Carnage for later. And then hopefully we draw into Death. If we're able to find a couple more tokens to destroy, we're going to be very happy with this one. They have the Patriot going. Why would you play Patriot plus Ebony Maw Sunspot? And here's Death. Aw, Lady Death. Do I want to use Death or Destroyer? We will be able to have other ways to make Death cheaper. But Destroyer is going to be a lot more clumsy unless we draw Cosmo. We'd really have to draw Cosmo. The alternative, right, is that we play Death now, and then we set up Nova. Just Nova, and then we can still play Destroyer later. It's awkward. It's kind of awkward either way. Let's play Destroyer. That was what we originally drew up. We could go either way here. And it's very interesting to argue the merits of one or the other. They're playing the Patriot because of Dr. Doom, who's going to be able to get in behind the Ebony Maw. I love the tech on the opponent's side here. Very interesting. I wish that I could chat more with the opponents, because I have a feeling that he is going to be loving our deck options as well. So this is going to destroy 2 pieces, get Death down to 7. We then play Magik, and we can play Lady Death. And we get significant tempo burst. The Bucky Barnes, Nova, Carnage have always been high value cards, high efficiency cards to be able to play them together. You get a little bit of awkwardness, but really they function very cleanly, and they're at the heart of any of these self-destruction archetypes. Now, let's see. I honestly think that Sewer System is helping us here. So it's Magik to give us access to Death. Do I need access to Death? I feel like I do. The alternative is actually just Cosmo. Just 3 points. Do I think the opponent on turn 6 can produce more than 3 points? Yes. Yes, I do. Give me another turn. It's unfortunate that we didn't get one more destruction in here. If we'd been able to fit in one more card being destroyed, we could have played Death. Honestly, that gives you an argument for moving Wave over to a lane where it could be destroyed. Alright. Where do we want to take the win? It doesn't really matter between the two of them because we can only hit 1. So if the opponent is able to top us in the big house, we are in trouble. 4 cards in hand. They can only play in 2 spaces cards that are 3 cost or less, and we have a 6-point lead. I don't want to snap, but I feel good. And they retreat. They didn't have it. Yes! Death Destroyer takes another win. Let's go. We get the rematch up against the exact same opponent. We're going to run it back. I really enjoy the rematches. I wish that they just had a rematch feature. I know we don't have friendly matches yet, but if they just had a button where you could press rematch against the same opponent, the opponent has the option accept or decline, just like chess.com has this feature. Very bare bones. Chess.com, obviously built up over many years. It's a great site. But it seems like that could be very easily implemented for the developers over what we have right now. Let's get Bucky on Dream Dimension. I would like to stack on Xandar, so destroying the Squirrel there seems a little bit counterproductive. We're going to have to be careful with Dream Dimension increasing our energy curve. We should be all right. Monster Island. Well, now we want to make sure that we protect this monster. How do we want to work things out? I would like Death to be a little cheaper, so we want to destroy these cards. We destroy these cards with Carnage. Alternatively, we play Cosmo and wait for turn 4, potentially drawing Nova, which would be a big boon for us. And then it's still looking to play Wave on 5. That will be affordable even with Dream Dimension, and then you get Death comboed with Destroyer because we've been able to lay down the Cosmo. Yes, I'm happy with this. Now, the opponent is glad to see the monster because he was running Patriot before. He's also got Mojo here. Did you switch decks? No, you did not switch decks. Yeah, so the Patriot into the monster, making him very happy. Now we want to crack these cards because we can't. We don't have any other place. I was about to say there's other paths, but Dream Dimension messed them up. There's not even other paths. The other path would be just playing Wave, and then Death on Dream Dimension, I suppose. Khazar. So you're really leaning into Debris and Squirrel Girl, and then empowering those tokens with Khazar and Patriot. I'm assuming you also have an Onslaught in there. That's my guess, at least. Now we really just need to wave. Let's wave on Monster Island. Yes. Gets a little bit of tempo. We're winning at Xandar, winning at Dream Dimension. I think the opponent has a solid deck. They're going to play Debris to clutter things up, which would be problematic. But they had to pass right there. Dream Dimension forcing a pass? You have 6 cards in hand. I'm very surprised at that pass on my opponent's side. Very surprised. But I think that we just lay down the Death, and then we lay down Yondu? Here's the thing, we could play Magik, but I don't really want to play Magik. 3 cards in deck, I don't know if I'm going to draw Destroyer. If we had Destroyer in hand, we would play Magik. But now it's just like we play Yondu. Hang on. Does it make sense to play the Xandar? We don't get the effect, but it does come out. I feel like we snap here. We're ahead at all locations. The opponent has their battery, their engine pieces set up. Khazar and Patriot. This is the rematch. They've already seen our deck. They know what we're capable of doing. How are you winning 2 of these 3 locations? I only have a 2-point margin at Monster Island. We get it. All right. Man, that turn 5 pass. Now is the surprise that let us edge out the victory, but there we are. Yet another victory for Death Destroyer. So here is the finalized deck list. This one is so much fun. It gives you just the extra punch of comboing Destroyer with Death, and then Wave allowing you to take the multiple routes of either an early Destroyer or an early Death, and then synergizing all of your cards together, able to exert a little bit of control with Cosmo and armor. I think this is an improvement to the DeathWave archetype, and it does so without utilizing extra pool 3 cards. I suppose we do have Magik in here. I should caveat that with you do need to use Magik. It's going to be very interesting to me to see when we get Deadpool, how we can work him in and be able to start tinkering around with this. Also Zola, and then bringing in Venom for potentially the giant Venom stack. Self-destruction is very well fleshed out archetype, incredibly fun, very versatile. So gonna be really looking forward to what we were able to create in the future as we expand our collection. Until next time, thank you guys for watching and keep on snapping.